And I pushed the button 275 times and only got 125 of it because it's on a timer. Mm-hmm. But it's highly addictive. Mm-hmm. So when they sent me home with the pills, between that and the muscle relaxers, I used to say I was morphine. Me and my friend had this little thing because it was morphine. So I would take the pill. And I would take more than I was supposed to, granted. And I'll get on the phone and the person would be like, you morphing, aren't you? And it was just a thing for me, you know. It was never really my thing, but it suppressed the pain, the feelings. And I could sleep, you know. So I have a heart.
Wait, so let me ask you this. You already talked about, you know, the drugs was recreational prior. So you did cocaine, pills, and stuff like that.
Yeah.
What made it get out of control?
It was resourceful, meaning that I can get it anytime I want. It was always a party drug for me, you know. But in the beginning, a lot of people would say, you don't get high like I thought you did. Like, people thought that how some people are now, that it was like a thing for me like every day and stuff like that, where I would be and I would party, you know how some people party. And to me, it was, you know, I'll be alright with about 2 or 3 bags and, you know, I'll be drunk or... You know, that's it. The party's over. So I think that it had taken a toll on me because, you know, I was alone, you know. I'm not saying nobody wanted me, but I chose to drift away from people. Mm-hmm. I had a lot of things going on in my life, you know. My mom, my sister and brothers, you know, and... You know, the story, like I said, the story of my life is there was this guy, and that will always be my excuse to want to do more, to become out of myself, out of my body, not the person who I was, because I was ashamed of a lot of things that went on, you know, especially in my family. And for me in the beginning, like I said, it was sex, drugs, and rock and roll. But I knew that I was an alcoholic before anything. I'm allergic to alcohol. You hear, guys? Allergic to alcohol. Now, an alcoholic is that you cannot drink. Not that it's fun to drink. Because when I would say to people, you know I'm an alcoholic, and they be like, yes, bitch, here, let me buy you a drink. That doesn't mean that. That means that I cannot have alcohol. And, you know, the funny part about that is that I didn't know that until I got into recovery, my first time. Yes, I've had a battle with this.
Have you ever smoked crack?
Hell yeah. Okay. I mean, I just was very private about my drug. Mm-hmm. You know, all drugs is not accepted until I stopped caring, you know, what people had to say. But when it came to crack, I hid. You know, and I always said to myself, I was never going to smoke crack because I didn't want to wind up like my mother. My mother was an addict for years, where she's a binge addict. You know, she's clean for a long period of time and then she goes in.
Still to that day?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Well, hopefully today she has 7 days. I spoke to her last night. But, you know, she has psych issues as well. She has a lot of kids. Sometimes she feels, I don't know, those feelings that make people feel that they need to get out of themselves, you know. But with me is that in the beginning, I enjoyed what I did. And a lot of the times that, you know, the drugs that I did was because I wanted to do them. If it gave me a bad high, I wouldn't do them anymore. Mm-hmm. Like when pills started to get bad and I would have a bad reaction to it, I totally cut it off. Mm-hmm. You know, I couldn't find cocaine, so I got crack. Mm-hmm. You know, it's the same thing if you put in a cigarette and call it a coolie. You know, it's just that you get more inside the glass than anything else, or bong, or whatever they want to call it. But yes, I did have an ongoing battle with crack, and
I'm listening to him, getting kind of emotional talking to you because I've known you for so long. No, just knowing and just you sharing this. How did it get so bad for you to kind of shoot forward, to be homeless and everything else? And
you know, and the issue was never that I was homeless. I just never went home.
Because I'm gonna tell you something right now. 2 years ago, when someone had called me and sent me a picture of you, or that I don't know what it was a document. I'm not really even sure what it was. You can explain it, but when I saw that picture that they used, bitch, I gagged. Do you understand what I'm saying? Because of course, I've heard, of course I heard things, but seeing it is different from hearing it. Seeing that picture was like, this shit is real. And for those, when you got in the car today, I said to you, right or wrong, I said,
I'm glad you're here.
I'm glad you're here. Because I didn't know if anyone would ever see you. You understand what I'm saying?
Right.
Knowing how this life is, knowing how it goes, knowing the people that is not here with us anymore. And you interviewing you right now to me is a blessing, and it goes deep because I've known you a long time.
Right.
You have a story, and you are still here, and you have another chance, obviously.
And every day that I wake up, I'm so appreciative to the Lord, and I thank God, that I'm able to start over every day that I wake up. And I want to say that, the area that I moved to kind of gave me that push to do other drugs, which was my first, when I ventured onto after cocaine, was crack. And just being alone and meeting new people, and just that high was so different than the cocaine and the drinking, because I didn't have to go to the ball to do it and fit in out in there. I could hide. But me, I'm an open book, so I never really hide. So people will come over, bitch, and I'd be like, bitch, this is my house, this is what I do. And and it wasn't to where it's that
my house, so bitch is what I do.
Yeah, this is I do what I want to do in here. I'm not gonna keep running to my room to go take a hit and y'all sitting out here drunk and sniffing coke. No, bitch, I'm gonna sit right here and this is what I'm gonna do. But with anything that I've done, I want to say, and I'm not glorifying, that I did it with respect for myself. When I lost respect is due to certain relationships I was in. Like I said, the feeling alone, the not wanting to be around the phony people, and just not being able to deal.
The pain that you were going through.
Yeah, the pain that I was going through.
Do you still have that pain?
No. When I surrendered, I became free.
When you say you surrendered, you surrendered to the Lord? What do you mean by that?
Yeah. Surrender, turning your life and your will over to your higher power. And, it's a powerless addiction. It's not one that you can go to and say, bitch, I got this. Did
you think at a time that you did have it?
Yeah. And in the beginning, you always think you have it. And you know what? I can say this. I've always kept a dog, and I felt that I had it because I took care of my dog, So it was like, bitch, the check is here. Let's go cash it. Get your food. You walked. Everything else. Well, I buy me something to eat, and the party is on. So, and then it became different because, people that did it in the ballroom scene, it wasn't big for them. It wasn't something that they would exploit. So it was like another lifestyle for me. I was living in the big world, and due to that, I started to make up my own little world in my addiction. So as long as nobody didn't see me, it was okay for me to do it. You know, so I did it like in places I know I wouldn't see nobody. And it became so out of content to where it's that I would do it in the park, you know, be on the roof and stairwell. And you know, a lot of times it was putting me in jeopardy of a lot of things. And, you know, it's so funny that when you just look like shit that everybody thinks that, you know, you're the best. And, you know, in that lifestyle and with people who are, you know, addicted for years and someone new comes in, of course you're the babe. You're the babe of the bumps, you know? So, I could say since 2013, I've been an addict.
What do you mean by that? You've been an addict since you've admitted that you was an addict?
Yeah.
Okay.
And now I'm a recovering addict. You know, first of all, any person. Okay.